Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you an OP light domain cleric build guide for in Baldur's Gate 3. So this is kind of like a caster and it's going to be dealing a lot of damage. Alongside the Tempest, I would say that this is one of the better subclasses for the cleric. The Tempest is all about electricity damage, whereas the light is all about radiant and fire damage. So with this, for our cantrips, we're going to go with Sacred Flame, which is a classic one that we're going to roll with. Blade Ward and Guidance seems to be the best three cleric cantrips that we get. For our ability scores, we're going to dump our charisma down. We're going to take our constitution around there, wisdom at 16-ish. Something along this looks good. The reason that we're leaving our constitution at 17 is we want to have our proficiency in constitution saving throws for the purposes of this, and then we're going to bump our wisdom up by 2. So something like this is great starting off, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of her. So there's some really powerful skills in the light domain, Fireball being kind of the main attraction here, but there's some great synergy that I'm going to get into in this video. So for our level 2, we just get our channel divinity charges, and this allows us to do the Radiance of Dawn. Sun's divine power dispels any magical darkness, and deals a good amount of radiant damage there. We also get turned undead, and for our spells, I like to go with Guiding Bolt just for the advantage on the next attack roll. Healing Word is great for healing or bringing up any partners that may be downed from range. Bless is just OP, and we want that for sure. Sanctuary is great because you or an ally cannot be targeted until you attack or harm a creature. This can save your butt in a lot of situations. And then for our final one, Create or Destroy Water can be pretty useful for setting up maybe someone else as a Storm Sorcerer. And then Command can be useful. Command drops really nice. But Create or Destroy Water can be quite useful. Inflict Wounds is another great one, but yeah, we're going to go with something like that. Create Water is more so for utility on other classes there. For our next spell, we get our level 2, and we're going to take off Cure Wounds. We're going to go with Spiritual Weapon, because this is great. It gives you another creature to take the hits away from from your team. Aid is really nice too, because it gives you an increased 5 health points. This does not require concentration, so I highly recommend that one. Hold Person is also really great too, but we can't choose anymore. So you could either swap out Aid for Hold Person. Prayer of Healing is nice too. Heal all allies that you can see. It's only used out of combat. And we're going to go with that for our level 3. Level 4 is when we get our first feat. And this is where things get really interesting for the cleric. So we get another cantrip. We can just take Produce Flame. That's nice because we're dealing fire damage there. We'll take off Conflict Wounds, and we'll take Hold Person. And for our feat, we're going to go with Resilience in Constitution. This allows us to hold our concentration on anything that requires a Constitution saving throw, which is important because we do have a lot of spells that have that, and it'll also take our Constitution up to give us a bit more health. So very powerful and really nice to have. You could also alternatively take 2 points increase to Wisdom if you want to deal more damage. At this next level here, we get Destroy Undead. When you successfully turn an undead, it also takes 4 to 24 radiant damage, so that's quite nice. Mass Healing Word is another spell that we can go with there, so I like that just as a bonus action to heal everyone. And then we can also go with something Revivify is pretty nice. Beacon of Hope. I like Glyph of Warding too. It puts kind of like a mine on the ground. You get to choose the type of damage, so it can be really powerful. We're gonna go with something like that there. And then, oh, I forgot Spirit Guardians, my bad. I completely glossed over that. That's the whole point of the build. We want Spirit Guardians, so the nice thing is we can just take that right there. So Spirit Guardians, call forth spirits to protect you. This turns Shadowheart into a Beyblade. And what I mean by that is you deal 3 to 24, so a 3d8 dice of radiant or necrotic damage. This can be upcasted. It also causes movement speeds to be halved. So this is really powerful and really nice just to have as a concentration, and that's why we wanted the proficiency in Constitution saving throws. So we're going to be using this quite a bit because you can pop this, run in, turn Shadowheart into a Beyblade, just damaging everyone. One of the best concentrations in the entire game, so that's quite nice. We also get improved Warding Flare when an enemy attacks an ally. You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll, possibly causing their attack to miss. So pretty much like once a turn you can cause a miss on one of your teammates. So that's really nice just for utility's sake. And again, a big focus of this build is going to be about getting in close and using Spirit Guardians. So next level we do get our light domain spells, Guardian of Faith, and then we also have Wall of Fire, which is super powerful, and I want to get into why. So we're going to take We'll take freedom of movement can be nice, banishment can be nice, death ward, protect a creature from death. The next time the damage would take them to 0 health points, it remains conscious with 1 health point left. So that can be quite nice. Death ward is useful just for overall survivability. And again, we're a cleric, so we're kind of supposed to be a support class at the same time, but damaging is also really important in the action economy of Baldur's Gate 3. We also get our next subclass feature with potent spellcasting, which gives our wisdom modifier to the damage we deal with cleric cantrips, which we're going to take a step further by doing an ability improvement, wisdom, to take that up to 18. Another good option is warcaster, advantage on saving throws against concentration, and that's okay because we already took resilience in constitution, which really is super useful. You also use a reaction to cast shocking grasp. But we're going with the ability improvement, taking our wisdom up, because it's just going to mean more damage, more healing. So, for our next level, something like that would be good. Beacon of Hope can be good. Glyph of Warding, well, that's what we're going to take, and we can choose whatever type of damage that we need, and that can be great resourcefulness there. So, at level 9, we get some more fire spells here, and some really fun ones. So, we're going to take off a couple of those. We're going to go with Insect Plague, so this creates difficult terrain, imposes disadvantage on perception checks. You also get Heal, or Mass Cure Wounds, which is pretty good. Heals all your team, which is nice, but we're going to go with something else here. Dispel Good or Evil can be okay. Feign Death. There's a lot of different useful spells that the Cleric gets, but it really comes down to we got our base skills there. So Planner Ally can be pretty decent, makes any type of enemy join your side, which can be really great. It allows you to just kind of spread out the aggro. At level 10, this is when we get some nice class features with the Divine Intervention. One time only, big butt saver. This is great. During some areas in Act 3, I won't spoil anything, but I had to use it on my playthroughs and it was very useful. So we'll just take resistance for our final cantrip there. And for our next spell, Mass Cure Wounds, not a bad one to take at level 5. We're going to get our level 6 spells here at Cleric level 11. So this is where things get kind of interesting. So we're going to take that off. We'll put on Blade Ward. So Blade Ward, it creates a wall of razor sharp blades, creates disadvantage, and damage anyone foolish enough to go through them. So that's just a great damage dealer. We also get Hero's Feast, which is what's nice about this is everyone around can be poison, disease, or frightened. Increases your health points, makes wisdom saving throws with advantage. That's just super nice. Doesn't require concentration. We'll take out Planar Binding and put on Planar Ally, which just gives us a otherworldly entity to help out. Healing can be another good option if you just want maximize your healing usefulness in combat. But taking that many level 6 spells is not like super ideal, but it can be done. So we'll go with something like that. And then you can also use potions to restore your spell slots. I would recommend doing that. But our final, I like Alert to give us a +5 to initiative. This is one of the most underrated feats, but we're just going to go with a nice ability improvement to take our wisdom up to 20. And then I'm going to get into some of the gear and some of the spells, kind of optimizing how this build is going to run. So we got a lot of options for damage here, which is kind of like what our build's all about. Spirit Guardians, you can do Radiant or the necrotic damage there, and you can even upcast that, and that gives us 6 to 48 damage, which is absolutely wild. For something that we can run in, damage people, run back out, and then they can run back into it. It does a lot of damage. We also have lots of different options for damaging here. So we got obviously Scorching Ray, the big choice here, Fireball, which does a lot of damage. This can be upcasted to do 11 to 66 damage. Fireball is just an overall great spell to have, and just look at the size of that. That is huge. Scorching Ray can be upcasted to deal more rays of damage. Radiance of the Dawn, there's our Channel Divinity. Sun's Divine Power dispels any magical darkness. We got our spiritual weapon, which is really useful. Flaming Spear. We got lots of fire damage there. Flame Strike gives us fire and radiant damage. Planar Ally, we can summon a Genie, Diva, or Cambion. We got our Destructive Wave, creates a shockwave, either divine or malevolent thunder damage that knocks nearby creatures and knocks them prone. So lots of options there, and as we get into our gear, I really like to have spell slot restoration from the Spell Crux Amulet, because we're going to be casting a lot of level 6 spells, especially if we're doing something like the Hero's Feast, which just gives us a nice improvement to our health there. So you can see there, boost everybody's health, and that uses up a level 6 spell slot, so we obviously want to you know, get something out of it. We also get a bunch of camp supplies there, so this can be nice if you need a rest and get some items. There you go. For our equipment, helmet of Baldur is great, but there's some other options here, like Dark Justiciar helmet gives us a increased chance of hitting criticals, gives us Constitution saving throws +1, so that's always a really great option, available in Act 2. Helmet of Baldur gives us 2 health points at the start of every turn, gives us a +1 to armor class and saving throws, can be stunned, and can hit criticals. Probably the best helmet in the game, super useful. Doesn't really need to be on this build, but I think it's just a great helmet overall. And we can also go with something like this for our cave. Vivacious Cloak gives us 8 temporary health points after casting a spell in melee. Dark Justiciar half plate gives us a nice armor class of 23 with this weapon here that gives us a +1 to armor class, and then the shield here, which gives us +3 to initiative rolls and advantage on perception ability checks. So these are pretty nice just for overall survivability. I like the gloves of missile snaring because it gives us reduces it 1d8 plus our dexterity modifier. Whenever we burn an enemy, you gain 2 levels of heat. That's not the most optimal choice. I just don't really have amazing boots on this save file. Space Hunt boots are great though too if you want Dimension Door just for mobility purposes. Again, Spell Crux Amulet's great for just setting up spell slots if you need restored them. And then Killer Sweetheart, when you kill a creature, your next attack roll will be a critical hit. Super useful. And then here we got whenever you deal damage to cantrip, you gain Arcane Synergy for 2 turns. So there it is. That is a pretty strong Light Cleric build guide for Baldur's Gate 3. The Light Cleric is all about fire and radiant damage. Tempest is about electric and thunder and lightning damage. So choose one of those two, depending on what you want to have on your party. I have a build guide I got build guides for both of those, so go check them out. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.